Hey y'all, welcome back. Just gonna be me for a little bit here. Meagan will catch up with me here later on in the video. But I've got myself a little bit of a project here. I made a really short road trip this morning. Found something on Facebook Marketplace that I really needed. I found this old corn trailer here, or what I'm gonna call corn trailer. I think the guy I bought it from used it to haul wood and stuff on. But it's pretty much just an old farm trailer, and we're gonna do a little bit of modifications to it to make it work better behind the corn picker. But let me show you real quick what I got. And keep in mind, I bought this thing like dirt cheap. These old farm trailers like this, I mean, it ain't a whole lot to them, but they work for what they're built for. Now, currently, the corn trailer we've been using, which this one was my grandpa's, is sitting right yonder, and it's still loaded down with corn from what we picked at the Foothills Farm Festival. Well, y'all know we still got corn to pick that we raised, and while I don't think it's all going to fit on this trailer, because this trailer's a little bit smaller than that one down there, I'm still going to be able to get quite a bit on here, and who knows, may end up getting it all on here, but I highly doubt that. So my thought process in wanting another trailer is I can keep the corn loaded on that one down there and not have to unload it. Now, we do have a spot where we've stored corn in the past. It's in one of our old tobacco barns. We got it fixed up to where you have to shovel the corn up in there, but you can throw the corn up in there and can't nothing get into it to eat it or anything. But it really is nice if you can just leave it on the trailer, and then whenever you need it, you can move it to where you need it to, grind your feed out of it, and then put it back under shelter. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're still going to have to unload that load down there, but we'll see. I don't know. It all depends on how well our corn turns off. Anyways, let me show you what I got. So I went ahead and hooked it up to the corn picker so I could see just how everything's going to line up here. And the spout is going to be coming out right over top of the axle, which is good. That'll be center of the trailer, so corn will roll this way, corn will roll this way. So it should be able to get a good load on the trailer. Now this trailer is not quite as wide as the trailer we've been using, but it'll still work, I think, anyways. These old trailers, there's several people around here who's got trailers like this, but they're made out of an old truck frame. And then they put wood boards across the top, and then your runners for your floor and all that good stuff. It's got 8 lug wheels on it. I mean, it's a good heavy duty trailer. You could probably put quite a big load on this trailer. The wood's in decent shape. It's not the best, but it will work. But it's definitely not the best. We're probably gonna beat down some of these nails and stuff here to get that down. I got a tailgate that goes on it, but I'm gonna have to add to it. But my goal for right now is I'm gonna build these sideboards up taller. I'm just gonna use what's here. I've already went down there to the lumber pile and put all these boards on here. This is what I'm gonna use to build them up. I wanna get them up to about here, roughly about the same height is what this front sideboard is. If I can get this fixed in time today, I'm gonna go try it out on the rest of that corn we had up there in my landrace corn patch. I'll pick those last few rows with it and see how all this works and see how that turns off. I won't be picking the Boone County white corn today, but I'll at least go up there and try it out and just see how things go. Ten foot. Y'all, I told Megan when I got back this morning, because I went by myself, she didn't go with me. I said, whenever I get old, or older, I said, I hope to be like that guy was. And a lot of y'all won't understand, because to a lot of people, having a whole lot of unnecessary stuff sitting around it's kind of like a waste. And maybe it is. But when I pulled up to that guy's place, you know, it was obvious he had either farmed or cut timber or something in his life. Because there was skidders sitting everywhere, bulldozers sitting everywhere, farm equipment, tractors. And so we got to talking, and he said, yeah, he used to cut timber and all that, but he just didn't have the heart to sell none of his equipment because he had used it so long that he just didn't want to get rid of it. But walking around those kind of places, and, you know, I got to talking to him. We talked for a while. But walking around those kind of places, you know, each and every piece of equipment sitting there, he had a certain story he could tell about that piece of equipment, even though it had been a couple years since he'd used any of it. And I said, you know, I like that because I kind of feel like that myself. Everything sitting here, there's a story that can be told with it. And even though there's a lot of stuff sitting around here that never gets used, it ain't necessarily the piece of equipment I'm hanging on to. It's the story that I'm hanging on to. And I like that. I've always, ever since I was a little kid, I loved to go to places with Daddy when we'd go look at something or whatever, and you walking around the person's place and they have a lot of old stuff sitting around, a lot of farm equipment, whatever. And I always liked that. And as funny as this may sound, I hope one of these days, which I got a pretty good start on it, but I hope one of these days I'm that guy that has a ton of stuff sitting around. And when I get older, ain't able to use it no more or whatever, I can walk around and tell that story about each piece of equipment. Why it's here, what we used to do with it, and just have some kind of story to tell about it. Now, I don't know why, but I like that. I really do. I enjoy that kind of thing. But anyways, it's probably a good thing I didn't have a pocket full of money with me this morning because he has decided to turn loose of a bunch of it. And there was several pieces of equipment up there that I would have been interested in had I had the money to buy them. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to work. But anyways, the boards will be up till about right there. So let's cut a few more of these. Got me a stick to use as a spacer. Not very scientific here. I kind of figured no more than what I paid for this trailer is just a couple $100 that it would be worth it just to have it sitting around even if it didn't make a good corn trailer. Because I don't know how y'all are, but I can promise you I don't never have enough trailers sitting around. Even if you only use them like once every couple of years, you just can't have too many farm trailers. I do the other side like this side. I'll brace it up a little bit, tie everything together, and that adds a whole lot more capacity to what this trailer can hold. That don't look half bad. more I think about it, the more I believe I'm pulling this board off and this board off. And I'll put something on here that'll be the full width, because with that hole right there, I mean, I could add to this board, but I've got plenty of boards, so it'll be just as easy just to pull that off. Once I finish that, see how they had a 2x4 mounted right there? I'll take that one out and I'll mount me a 2x4 in the corner that's the full height there, and tie it to this, and that'll tie everything together and keep it to where the sides don't want to bow out. And then I'm going to do the same thing I did on this side, I'll do over there. I want to be able to take the back tailgate off so you can shovel the corn out of the trailer. So I'll have to get that figured out too. So I may end up being able to put more corn in it than I think I can. Well, we're coming right along. See, I got them sturdied up. Put that 2x4 right there, so it's attached to the front boards and the side boards, and that keeps everything sturdy. I'm going to have to do the same over there, and then that'll pull that gap shut. Once I finish that, I'll slip the tailgate in. Only thing I am concerned about is this is close, so I'm going to have to really keep my eye on this when I'm picking, in case something falls down in the ditch and this ends up getting close to this. You know, most of the time it won't be an issue, but there will be that one certain place where, you know, you go down into a dip or something and that could potentially hit, and that's where I'm really going to have to pay attention. I don't know if that's going to work or not. Look at there. I run the screw out the side, but it pulled it in. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now I can pull that one back up. There we go. Beautiful. I'll get on the ground and do the rest. What you got? Your toy book?
Yeah. You know how last year I got that planter, this year?
Yeah.
Well, look. As soon the year that I get my planter, they have
one that comes with it, don't they?
Yeah, they have one that comes with this tractor, but it's a good thing that I got mine, because this one probably hooks up just like the bush hogs that I have.
That other style hitch,
yeah.
Don't it? Probably so. Is that the, what book is that? The Outback Toys book?
Yeah.
You up there Christmas shopping?
Yeah.
That's all right. I used to do the same thing. You sitting up there, you wear one of them magazines out in a year, won't you?
Yeah.
What do you think about my trailer?
I like it.
Looks good, don't it?
Mm-hmm. All you gotta do is extend the tailgate up, and then
go pick some corn. Yep. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. You know, while it's exciting to go out and buy something new, it's also exciting to go out and buy somebody else's so-called junk and turn it into something you can use. I am tickled to death for this. I think this is going to work out perfect. A lot of people who pick with these corn pickers will put one of the big gravity wagons behind a picker like this, and that's all fine and dandy. That works great. But the reason I don't do that is we actually have, or Daddy has a couple of gravity wagons. But the reason I don't like doing that is, number one, they hold a lot more corn, and while I understand you don't have to fill it full, you know, if you've got room, you're probably going to fill it full. And when you're going up and down these hills and hollers and stuff around here, that stuff gets heavy back there. So you've got quite a bit of load to pull behind the tractor up a hill. Number two is because of the dips and ditches and hills and stuff like that, the gravity wagons just don't work quite as well behind one of these. They work. I know several people who do it. They just don't work well. I think with our situation, a good old-fashioned, just plain old farm trailer works way better than a gravity wagon setup. Like I said, in our situation. So here's the tailgate to come with this thing. And I'm not sure if I'm just going to use this, if I'm just going to make a whole new tailgate. I mean, honestly, it would be easy to just do what I've done here. Put a brace up like that and put more boards across the back. That would be really easy to do. I think that's what I'm going to do. You know, later on, if this tailgate don't work, well, then I can build something else. But what I'll do, so we'll go 2 10-inch boards tall, and that'll be it. There goes the wild ones. Perfect. I'll leave me just enough gap that I can get my fingers in here and use that as a handle. And I'll do the same up top. And that's something I didn't even think about when I measured these, that I was going to leave me a space in between there. So these will end up being a little bit short, and these boards are actually stand up higher than these outside boards. But I think it'll be all right. We're just building a corn trailer, not a showpiece. There's the back tailgate. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that I'll eventually end up redoing this back tailgate, because this is going to have quite a bit of pressure on it when it's plumb full of corn pushing out on it. But for now, it'll get the job done. But I'm pretty much done with it. I really think this is going to work out pretty good. I mean, that's, like I said, I've pretty much at least doubled the volume of that trailer right there hold. I'm going to show you what I got in mind here. I found these hinges in the building, and I'm thinking about attaching a hinge just like that to that, and then maybe drilling out this hole a little bit bigger to where I can put me a pin through that piece. Now, I know that's not going to hold a lot, but it's going to take a little bit of the stress off of these little 2x4s down here. I'm going to figure me out something here, some way to do this. These boards are not even across here because that top one is warped really bad, and then this one was cupped really bad. Both of these are oak, and so they moved during the drying process. See, all I'll have to do is pull out one screw, fold that hinge around, and I'll be able to lift this tailgate out. It might last a year, it might last 2 years, but it's not going to last long term. I'll eventually come up with a different type of latch system. But I'm pretty much just stuck using what I've got here. I hadn't went out and bought anything to fix these sideboards with. Everything that I've used is something I already had. So, this is going to work until it breaks. Now that tailgate is firm, the sides don't try to bow out, and I know that that's going to be a lot of pressure on that one little tiny screw. But I think it'll hold. Like I said, I just don't think it'll last long term. So check it out. One thing that I'll definitely do in the future is put a swing up jack right there just so I can unhook it easily or whatever. But for now it'll work. When we get it full of corn, I'll just take my floor jack, put under the tongue to lift it up. But there it is. I believe I've got probably a good hour and a half, 2 hours invested into this evening. But now I got a corn trailer that I can use from now till I'm done planting corn in my life. And who knows, Jacob may use it, and his son may use it, and his son may use it. You just don't never know. That trailer that's down there, the one that we normally use for the corn picker, was, I want to say, either my grandpa's or my great-grandpa's corn trailer. And then it got passed down to Daddy. And I guess it's technically still Daddy's. But, you know, I've been using it now. So stuff like this that don't go nowhere. You know, the worst that's going to happen is the boards are going to rot off and have to put new boards on it. But it ain't going nowhere.
So, I hadn't showed the animals really up close lately. So, before we head up to the cornfield, while Andy's getting some other stuff took care of, I'm going to run around and feed everything. So, y'all come on and go with me. So my cows get about half sweet feed, a few oats, and some homemade feed, which is down there. My horses, if you've seen any older videos and you've heard me talk about my horses, they're both elderly horses. So we know with elderly animals comes more expense, of course, but they've took us a lot of miles through the years, and the way I look like it, the least I can do is take the best care of them that I know how, and that I can afford to anyway. So I started feeding Total Equine from Total Feed. It's really made a big difference in the way the horses look. So this is part of my regimen. I do feed them twice a day. In case any of y'all have elderly horses out there, this is what works for me anyway, because I was having some issues, especially with the big red horse, keeping weight on him. And even now, he's not anywhere near fat, but he doesn't have really many back teeth at all, so he can't eat hay, especially. He's even to the point now that he has trouble with the green grass, but get that. Alfalfa pellets. And beet pulp. And this right here has really been a lifesaver, this rice bran oil for horses with keeping weight on. I don't know how much longer either one of them will be with us, but like I just said, I'll take care of them best I know how. And if you're interested in Total Feeds and you're anywhere local to us, shoot me an email. One of my good friends down at Rust Ridge Ranch is a Total Feeds dealer. It's one of the kind of things you gotta get from somebody. You can't go to the store and buy it, I don't think. So I gotta go wet this horse feed. I do let that soak for a little bit since it's got that beet pulp in it. So I head to the cows first, give the horse feed plenty of time to soak. So on the way back out from the cows, the chickens are just right there, so I'll stop by and check them next. I've gotten 0 eggs in the last 4 days. So I got a good family friend actually getting ready to come by and bring us some. That's the lucky thing is about living in the country, I guess. Everybody and their brother's got chickens, so if your chickens ain't laying, surely somebody's is. Any eggs today? Oh, at least one. At least one. Make that 5 days and no eggs. Don't. Come here, Ty. Hey. So last but not least is the pigs. My calves that are over at the neighbor's place, I've been feeding them just like every other day, sometimes every couple of days. They still have lots of grass over there to eat. So I'm just feeding them enough to keep them knowing who I am and keep them coming. I got y'all some snacks. The pigs are growing, eating us out of house and home. Usually when it gets this time of year, boy, that's all I can say, they can eat. Here, look. Yum, yum. Yum, yum. Yum, yum. So, for those of you that may not know, our pigs are what we joke and call mountain raised pork. So they've got about 2 acres pastured in on a steep part of our land here that was unusable. It's rocky, like there ain't nothing that we could do with this part right here. And one day, me and Andy got talking about it, and we said, you know what? Why don't we try to run pigs on that? Can't do nothing else with it. So, these lovely creatures have about 2 acres all along the side, way out through there on this mountainside to enjoy. The cats, they get fed in the morning, so they've already been fed today. Lovey gets fed in the morning. Lovey's too fat, so he only gets fed once a day. And like I said, the calves don't get fed every day either, so I guess that's about it. I'm gonna go see if Andy's ready to go to the cornfield. I wanna go watch him for a little bit anyway. I enjoy watching that corn picker work. And anyways, I like hanging out the field anyway. Well, we've come on up to the cornfield. Gonna give it a go.
I'm gonna give it a go. Now, I'm just gonna tell you right straight off that I don't expect there to be a whole lot of corn here because there's a lot of missed places in this patch. I had issues with the planter, and I just kind of said, you know what? We'll let the corn that's come up make something, and those missed patches, they can just grow in weeds. And there's definitely there's plenty of grass out here in this corn. But this is the same corn that you watched us pick by hand, the same landrace corn that I've got. So, I mean, that's a pretty little ear.
It is.
For a stalk that's standing out here kind of on its own, that pollinated really good.
It did. It's perfect almost.
It did. But I'm going to run the corn picker through it instead of us wasting our time picking it by hand.
You don't have high hopes for this corn.
But yeah, I don't expect it to turn off a whole lot of corn. However, it may fool me.
Maybe it will.
I mean, it might. I got to make a quick adjustment on this corn picker. All I'm going to do is raise up that head just a little bit. Because picking corn like this, you know, it's been kind of ridged up from me cultivating it. You don't want this thing digging into that ridge as you're going out through the field, and lifting it up will kind of help me get out of those weeds some too, because y'all might remember from last year's corn picking video, we had a terrible weed problem in this corn.
It was awful.
And it was awful with this picker. It kept winding up in there. It was not fun at all. But as a matter of fact, it might not hurt to raise it up a little bit more. If I can, I believe that's all I'm gonna get out of it. 'Cause the more you raise it up, the closer it gets to the trailer out there too. Let's see what it's gonna do. Well, that's what I stopped to see.
Well, it ain't too bad.
Ain't too bad.
That one you just throwed in there was pretty.
That one right there was still green, that one I just throwed in there.
Was it?
Yeah. Some of it ain't shucking like it should.
You want me to get in there and shuck it? Or me to send,
Nah, I ain't worried about the shucks.
send 2 children in there to shuck it?
We'll grind all this. Them shucks ain't gonna hurt nothing. There's an adjustment on there that makes them rollers come closer.
But it didn't shuck it last time.
Well, I should have made that adjustment.
Oh.
I ain't worried about it though. I mean, it's picking it, and that's all we need. We can shovel it out of here and feed it to something.
Oh, yeah.
But it is. Some of it's still green though, which I'm not gonna let worry me. I'm gonna pick it anyways.
You got a leaf in your hat.
A leaf.
Just stick it. I just saw it.
Like I had a little feather stuck up. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna make me a few more rounds and see what it does.
quicker than the other way.
Yeah, a lot quicker.
It's all gone.
Looks better, don't it?
Yeah.
This is where all those people who back in the springtime give me a hard time because I was talking about straight rows, and they said, oh, you can fit more in a crooked row. Well, this is where it comes in. You better have some straight rows, because every once in a while there's a place where the row will get off and you can't adjust for it quick enough when you're running a tractor, and then your picker will just kick all that over. So I think we'll probably walk over and pick a little bit of it, what's on the ground, but it ain't much. But I'm just saying, straight rows do matter. Let's look at it and see what we got. It didn't shuck it all, but that's not that's not the picker's fault. I don't have the rollers. They need to be tightened up on it for it to shuck it better than that. But since this is just going to cow feed, I mean, that'll just add to the cow feed.
Oh yeah, it's just what they call it,
fodder.
Roughage.
Yeah, there you go.
Whatever that word is.
There's some
nice ones in there though, especially to be as
that's a pretty ear.
hippity hoppity as that corn was.
Look at that.
Oh,
Look at that right there.
That's
Ain't that nice?
Yeah. Leave the shuck on it.
I'm gonna leave you shuck on it. You can use it for decoration. You might want to come through it now. So there is some of this in there that's like still extremely green, and the reason that is because I come up here after I seen how hippity hoppity it was coming up, and I replanted some, and that was a mistake. I don't think I'll ever do that again, because everything, even if it's only 2 weeks after you plant it, everything at that point is so far out of time with each other, it ruins it. So I'll never go back into a cornfield and replant again. What's there is what's going to be there. If I replant it, I'm going to tear the whole thing up.
Well, your trailer worked good.
Huh?
Your trailer looked like it worked good.
Yeah, it did. Look at that.
Well, that's a nice
Trailer worked perfect. Well, I mean, that right there didn't turn off near as much as them 11 rows up there did.
No.
But it still looks pretty good. As thin and sparse as all that corn was, it's hard to believe it pollinated that well. All right, let me see if I can figure out how to get out of this tall thing. I need to build me a step on the side.
Yep, that's what it needs. It just needs a little board or something for you to step on.
I seen a guy this morning, and I was telling him I was fixing to go pick corn this season, and he said, you ain't picking it by hand, are you? I said, we picked 11 rows by hand. I said, but the rest, and I told him it was just getting saved for seed, but the rest is getting picked by picker. He said, boy, when I was a little boy, he said, me and Daddy picked every bit of the corn we had by hand. And I swore up and down I wasn't never going to pick no more by hand. And he said, no, I ain't. He said, if I'm going to pick corn, it's going to be with a picker.
Baked spaghetti and then toast.
We hadn't had baked spaghetti in quite some time.
Yeah, that's why I thought I would fix some kind of spaghetti.
Here, hold your plate over.
I don't much like spaghetti in the summertime. It's one of those weird...
One of those things that you only want in the winter,
yeah,
or when it's cool.
When it's cooler. I don't know why. I mean, I eat it sometimes in the summer, I guess, but it looks pretty good.
It does look good. But there's supper tonight.
Yep, and it's already getting dark outside, so I guess it's about time to call it a night.
Well, it looks like my corn trailer's going to do what it's supposed to do.
That's all right.
I kind of figured it would.
But anyways, guys, I guess that's going to about wrap up today's video. Hope y'all have a great rest of your week until we see y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one.